Willkommen. My name is Sean Huggins. I'm an American living in Germany, and on this channel, I'm looking to learn all about life in Germany and Europe in general through watching silly videos and stuff on the internet with you guys. So, let's hop straight into it. So today we're going to be checking out 5 taboo, weird, or illegal things in America that are normal in Germany. This should be interesting as an American now living in Germany. So let's see if I have noticed any of these things or if any of these things are new to me. Let's see. Let's find out together, shall we?
Hey folks, Austin here, and this is Jack. Today we're going to be talking about some things that are either taboo, weird, or illegal in America that seem to be totally normal in Germany and probably a good chunk of Europe.
Okay.
But you wouldn't know anything about that, would you, Jack? He's from the Asian Pacific, so... Everything I'm going to be talking about today is based entirely on my own experiences, having lived briefly here in Germany and
Bonn and Nuremberg. Okay.
living here in America.
Florida. Oh, God. Florida is one of the craziest places in all of America. This should be interesting.
All right, let's get started. All right, so first thing on the list is going to be the drinking age. So in 1984, U.S. Congress passed the National Minimum Drinking Age Act, which coerced states to raise their drinking age to the infamous 21, and did so by threatening to take away a portion of a given state's federal highway funding. As you're perhaps familiar, all states eventually complied. Crossing the Atlantic, however, in Germany, you can drink beer and wine at the age of 16 and spirits at 18. So big cultural difference.
Yeah, that is a huge difference. I don't know why, but I feel like having a younger drinking age, legal drinking age, actually helps with people not abusing alcohol as much, because in America, people abuse alcohol like crazy. And I'm not talking about like going to parties, getting drunk. I'm talking about too much, doing reckless stuff, endangering themselves and other people, and just doing it in unsafe ways. And I think it's because it's like this taboo thing. You have to like sneak around and it's like really frowned upon and all that stuff, and it just leads to really bad situations that people put themselves in order to be able to drink alcohol. But in Germany, you can start legally at a much younger age, obviously, but you can also drink wherever you want. So you can just go to the grocery store and be like, oh, I'm just gonna have a beer with my friends outside, and like having a beer is just inherently not as big of a deal over here in Germany as it is in America. Like having a beer with your friends in America is like a covert operation. Oh, we better get our money's worth, so we're not just gonna have a beer and hang out. We're gonna freaking go crazy, and our parents are out of town for a night, so we're just gonna have a crazy party, drink 50 beers, and like do some dumb shit. No, it's not. That's not good. That's not safe. If it was more normalized in America, I feel like it would be, like I said, a lot more safe.
There to begin with, but what I found particularly interesting was that at age 14, you can drink beer and wine with the consent of a parent or guardian. I mean, 14 compared to 21, that's a 7-year difference. It's kind of crazy. Also, it was my astute observation that drinking in Germany, well, at least the consumption of beer, was much more of a cultural thing, while I feel in the US it's more of a market and lacks that particular style that Germany has.
Yeah, that's a good point by him, actually. I think there's more of an emphasis in Germany on casual drinking, and a lot of the focus in America for drinking alcohol is around partying and going crazy and getting messed up and all that. And while a lot of people do that, obviously, in Germany as well, I feel like it's part of the culture more to just be like, oh yeah, we're just gonna hang out and have a beer or whatever, you know?
We don't have purity laws, and for the most part, our mainstream beer is, well, no more than yellow tinted water. Not that I would know, of course. So fun fact about me, I had never alcoholed prior to coming to Germany, and my first beer ever was a Kolsch in the city of Bonn. Speaking of Bonn, for this one, let's go back to July.
Oh, here we go. Public drinking.
It's 6:30 p.m. and I'm lounging on the Bonn University Hofgarten, enjoying einige kalte deutsche Biere with a small group of friends. There are groups like ours all around us, casually drinking, some playing frisbee. There are couples walking in the park. There are children playing in the playground. It's absolutely an incredibly beautiful scene.
Of course.
Unfortunately, not one you'll ever likely see in a public place in the U.S.
Verboten! Yeah, you can't drink in public in like 99.9% of America. There are some places that have exceptions, but for the vast, vast majority of America, You can't do it. And that just adds to the whole like taboo thing around drinking alcohol, where it's like you have to like sneak around or go to these certain places. And I feel like that adds to the sort of taboo-ness of drinking alcohol in America. It's not as normalized as it is in Germany, where it's just, hey, it's no big deal. Just have a beer in the park. If you want to relax, just have a beer in the park. No, not in America. You have to go to a bar, go to a disco, go to a pub. You have to sit there and you have to drink.
Why not, you ask? Because here in America, we have these little legal technicalities referred to as open container laws. Real bummer, believe me, I know. When I got back to America, all the drinking games I was familiar with were optimized for the great outdoors, such as like Flunky Ball. In truth, I don't think...
Dude, I haven't played Flunky Ball in a fortnight. I gotta play some Flunky Ball. Thanks for reminding me, bro.
America should legalize public drinking unless it first implements some kind of comparable fine system. I just think the mess would be too great. And also, I think American culture in regards to drinking and beer has to first evolve because I think it would just be abused into oblivion if you just were like, all public drinking is legal today.
Yeah, all public drinking being legal in America would be a catastrophe because, like I said, it's just not the same mentality in America's minds around alcohol, and they would just abuse the heck out of it, like this guy is saying too.
So that's my opinion on it.
I agree.
So this was one of the more surprising things for me when I first arrived in Europe. Considering how progressive Europe seems to be, it really surprised me that Europeans, well at least Germans, smoke as much as they do.
That is true. Germany is very health conscious and very progressive, and yet smoking cigarettes is very common in Germany.
I grew up in the U.S. during a time where there were massive anti-smoking campaigns with a constant flow of scare tactic TV ads as well as relentless drug prevention programs in schools. There was really no way you could escape it. When I was in high school, I didn't have any friends that smoked cigarettes, and now that I'm in college even, I only have maybe 1 or 2 friends that do. So I'm hesitant to say it's categorical, but in my experience, it seems to be that smoking cigarettes becomes more and more taboo in America every year.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people smoke cigarettes in America, but I do think that it is, percentage-wise, more people in Germany compared to America, at least from what I've seen, like this guy. Carbonated water. So if you've ever been to the
rental US of A, you're probably acutely aware that here in America, we're not as keen on having those fancy bubbles in our agua. Can you buy it here? Sure, but it's not even remotely as popular as it is in Germany.
Yeah, we have it in America if you know where to look, but it is definitely not popular. In fact, the only time I ever saw carbonated water being remotely successful, even remotely successful in America, was with at-home carbonated water machines where you can put your own water into it and then carbonate it yourself. But the stipulation is it comes with all the different soda flavors. So you can essentially make your own soda at home, which I know a lot of people in Germany have here. That is the only thing that I saw in America that kind of caught on with carbonated water. And I think it was just because it was like make your own soda at home. I feel like most people weren't using it as just a carbonated water source. I don't know why, but yeah, carbonated water, not really a thing in America.
Dare I say most of, if not all of Europe. So another quick life story with Austin. When I was on the plane to Germany, it was the first time I had had carbonated mineral water, and I was so disgusted by it that I really thought I was going to throw up right there in my seat. However, by the end of the year, or like shortly after getting there, really, I tried it more and I really started to like it, and by the end of the year, I even preferred it to that regular old boring still water that nobody likes except for people in America.
Fork and knife etiquette. I'm not sure what this is. Let's see.
So, in America, it's proper etiquette to keep the fork in one's dominant hand, then pick up the knife, then switch the knife in the fork when the necessity to perform a culinary incision or cut arises. After living in Germany for a year, I find this method of doing things to be highly impractical. I much prefer the German persuasion of keeping the knife in the dominant hand and the fork in the other hand and then just doing it that way. Interestingly enough, I still use my silverware the way you fine folks in the land of beer and bread do. One could even argue it's a habit that I brought back from Germany.
I think that last thing might be kind of a stretch. I don't know about that one. I don't think most Americans hold their fork one way compared to another or something. Like, everyone is different. I don't know how you would even determine that. But the other things I definitely agree with.
All right, folks. Well, that ends at least the first half of this list.
Whoa. Thank you for the list. Yeah, I think the last thing with the fork is kind of a stretch, but the other things he has a good point with. I think so, at least. I'm curious, though, what do you guys think? Do you have any other taboo things, any weird things that Americans do that you Germans have figured out better than anybody? Or maybe things that are illegal in America that are pretty common here? Let me know in the comments below. I'm curious what you guys have for me. But at any rate, that's all the time that I have for today. If you enjoyed, consider subscribing. We got new videos every single day. Check the links in the description for all of my other social media, including my vlog channel. Thank you guys so much for being here, and as always, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.